Welcome back to Sleep Well Horrors. We're doing a grab bag today. Alright? We're putting a bunch of stories that are short, putting it into one video. For you guys, we'll do anything. Anyway, we are doing a grab bag. And, the first story we have on the list is The Reason You Fear Darkness by Ryan Decker from Creepypasta. Gonna be doing a bunch of creepypastas today, and that is the first one. And then we'll just go ahead and give you all the titles so you have something to look forward to if you don't like the first one. The next one is The Living History Project. That's the second story we're gonna read by Kristen O'Neill. Third story is Red Light by Emily S. And the final story will be When the Circus Came to Town. That one's gonna be scary, I can only tell. Written by Stephen Cision. Yeah, maybe. Those are the four stories we're gonna read. They're pretty short. So, hope you guys are right. If you don't like the first one, you might like the second, third, or fourth. So, stay tuned for that. Okay. You already stay tuned for the rest. Anyway, I'm a little bit hyper on caffeine right now, so we're gonna go ahead and start. Go ahead. Is it me? Ooh, it's not very often I get to start first, but I do this time. The fear of darkness is something that lies beyond the drape of black covering it up. Not the drape itself, it's not the darkness we fear, it's the fear of what watches from within.
The night's cloudy sky stirs with the quiet zephyr, the moon rising with a gentle shine, illuminating the quiet neighborhood with a soft white glow that calms a troubled soul. The rain that once tumbled down now rests calmly on the ground, finding its way back into the earth's soil. The rain in which, shortly disturbed by a car that drives by, wafting the water in a sparkly mist that glides through the cold air. The car pulls into the driveway of an empty house, coming to a slow and complete stop. The car's driver's side door swings open, and a woman steps out of the vehicle before closing the door firmly, locking the door as she leaves. Her keys jingle together in her hand as she walks up to her house's front door, unlocking it with a small key. The door swings open with a quiet creak, and nothing but a dark interior lying inside. Not a single light. It was quiet, dark, with a feeling that just wasn't quite right. The light is flicked on, with a warm glow that restored the feeling of safety. The sudden sound of ring ring broke the silence in an abrupt manner, soon stopping as she picked up the phone call.
Hey Mary, how are you?
An enthusiastic woman asked her.
Oh, hey Hannah. I'm fine. I just got back from that movie that I was talking about.
Mary replied.
Well, I was just calling to talk with you, see how things are going.
Hannah says.
I won't be able to talk for too long. It's pretty late.
Mary is suddenly interrupted by a car alarm going off coming from her driveway.
Hold on, I think my car alarm's going off.
Mary informs. Mary opens her front door and walks over to her driveway to try and stop her car alarm, only to be met with her car in complete normality. Usually her headlights would be flashing too, but her car was still and lifeless. The alarm shortly stops for seemingly no reason, and Mary becomes perplexed.
That's strange. What? Is something wrong with your car again?
Hannah questions.
No, it's just that...
Mary is interrupted by Hannah. Hannah says, there is a brief pause in conversation.
I said...
Mary is interrupted again.
No, I didn't say anything.
Hannah tells Mary.
What? I just heard you say... Is something wrong with your car again?
Mary says.
Mary? I never said that.
Hannah reassures. Mary is speechless. She knows for certain that Hannah had just spoken directly to her, that she wasn't just imagining it. Her heart rate increased a little, getting slightly nervous and paranoid.
What?
Mary mutters.
Are you feeling okay, Mary?
Hannah asks.
Yes, I know I heard something speaking through. It sounded just like you.
Mary insists.
Maybe you need to stay outside a little bit longer. Get some fresh air, girl.
Hannah suggests.
Good idea.
Mary says.
Mary,
Hannah mutters.
I didn't say anything.
Mary slowly gets frightened by Hannah's statement.
No! You're playing games with me! Trying to scare me!
Mary angers.
No, I'm not trying to scare you. I heard it too.
Hannah says shakily.
I heard my voice come out of your phone.
The night became eerily quiet, unnaturally quiet. The crickets silent, the wind calm. The only sound was the breathing of Mary's frightened figure.
So, we both just heard your voice, but we also both know that you didn't say it.
Mary questions.
How?
Hannah stutters. The two girls, shooken in fear, remained silent and were incredibly bewildered by the interaction that they had just had. They both had no idea what just happened, and both began to question if they were really just imagining it.
Oh, okay. I'm really starting to get freaked out.
Mary says.
I'm going back inside now. Oh, wait!
Hannah shouts.
Come on! Stay outside for a little longer.
Mary looks confused before Hannah abruptly speaks again.
Mary! Listen to me!
Hannah says with the tone of panic.
Run inside! Lock all your doors! Don't hang up the phone! What? Did you just tell me to stay outside?
Mary explains.
Mary, stop being a fucking idiot! Are we kidding here?
But she's hearing both voices.
Oh my god, dude! Mary's... Okay. They already okay, look, listen. They already decided that the voices that they're hearing that said stay outside wasn't Hannah. So
That's
don't
true.
stay outside because it's the second time they're saying it. Fuck!
No, I agree with you now, but I
I would
also
be
think
inside already. I wouldn't even have waited outside that long.
I would have been dead.
God, this like horror logic trace is crazy. Just don't get it. Hold on.
Well, we know that if we were both in a horror film, I would be the first one dead.
Yeah, well.
I'm with Mary on this one.
Dude, come on. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna stay outside. I don't care. That's you right now. Hold on. It's like in my way. All right, let's do this. I'm ready. Let's do this. Come on. Let's read it. Let's go.
It's
What's
you,
next? Oh. Wait, who is it? Who's speaking?
Hannah. You say that's not me.
Dude, things are annoying. Shit. All right, what am I doing?
You say that's not me.
The fuck's that at?
That's
Oh,
not me,
okay.
Hannah yells.
Hannah is this way? Or is this Mary? This is Mary, right? Hannah's this way.
Yeah.
That's not me!
Hannah yells. Mary freezes in fear, unable to move in a state of dread. Mary again hears Hannah's voice.
Please, stay out here. It's not safe inside.
Except this time, the voice isn't coming from Mary's phone. It was whispered directly into Mary's ear.
Oh.
Without looking back, Mary sprints from her front door and locks it. She realizes that she dropped her phone in her front lawn and is now by herself. She runs to her back door, a sliding glass one, and locks it. As soon as she locks the door, she came As soon as she locks the door, she can make out the faint silhouette of a tall, skinny man in her backyard. It doesn't move or make a sound, it just stands there, watching her with curiosity. A tear slips down Mary's face, and she turns off all of the lights, praying to not be seen. She runs up the stairs and into her bedroom, where she slips into a closet, covering her body with shirts and anything else that she can find. After around 10 minutes of hiding in silence... What?
Good girl.
Yeah, but she doesn't have her phone.
Well, doesn't matter.
I would have gone back and got it. After around 10 minutes of hiding in silence, Mary hears a gentle, soft knock on her back door. It's calm, almost as if someone was telling you that you forgot to unlock your door to let them in. It stops after about 15 seconds, and then the silence begins again. Mary is curled up in the corner of her closet, reciting the Lord's Prayer quietly. Her heart races, and her thoughts being unable to process what is happening to her, Mary cries and shivers, waiting for the thing to enter her house and open the closet, but it never does. After another 10 minutes of silence and praying, Mary hears a voice again. It's Hannah.
Mary! Mary! I came here as fast as I could!
She says. The voice doesn't sound like the monotone off voice that was being mimicked earlier. No, this is the real Hannah.
Where are you? I called the police.
Hannah worries.
I'm upstairs in the closet.
Mary replies. There is a moment of silence, and Mary tries to call out to Hannah again.
Oh my god. I said I'm in the closet.
The closet door swings open, and a dark gray figure stands on the other side. What?
Dumb bitch.
It looks like a human, except it's concerningly skinny, with an impossibly long stretched smile grinning from eye to eye. It's way too tall. Yeah, it's way too tall to be a human, and its eyes look at her, wide and not blinking. Mary sits with tears streaming down her face, her jaw locked open as she stares at the thing staring at her. She can't even speak. It's like the thing won't allow her to, or to do anything. The thing somehow opens its mouth and starts to speak to Mary in a warm yet extremely disconcerting voice, saying,
I'm going to tell you what will happen.
Its mouth is moving, but not correlating with the words that it speaks. Its movements are far from natural, trying to be, but failing.
When you wake up, I will be there. When you wake up, you will not be able to move to your own will. You will not be able to see me. That is because I will be inside you. I will be able to feel everything, see everything, and hear everything. You'll feel me inside you for the rest of your life. You are not you anymore. I am you.
I don't like any of that.
Did you like the voice though?
Yeah, it scared me. I wasn't expecting it.
When I was speaking the dialogue parts, was the phone still on?
I think so.
For the closet part?
I think so.
Fuck.
It's
okay.
fine. The thing splits its jaw wide open, tearing its own skin, revealing a bright light that entrances Mary. Unable to control it, Mary falls into a deep sleep, losing all control over her body. When Mary wakes up, she cannot move. She hears the voices of thousands inside of her head, screaming and laughing. She can feel something inside of her skin. She can see it underneath her skin, withering around, digging into her. Her body is moving against her own thoughts. She can't do anything anymore. She can't control her body anymore. It's his body now, not hers.
Why fear something that is not there? You can't fear that doesn't exist, and that's why you fear it.
The end. That was a good story. I liked it.
First off, you looked so scared when I did the voice.
I was not expecting it. I was over here. I know I should have been prepared for it. I was over here yelling at Shadow with my eyes because he's crying over there. And then all I hear is you in my headphones, just like booming voice.
I'm gonna do something different at the end of the video too, with the voices. Cool. Well,
What'd you think?
I think it's Slenderman, right? That's what it sounded like.
It sounded
That's what he
like
does.
it
He like takes over
sounded
people
like
and
that's
then
what it looks like.
and
Yeah.
uses them. No, but that's what he does though. He takes over people and uses them. Yeah. And all
Did you
their
like it?
screams. I liked it. It was not bad. Good story. Good story. I liked it.
Yeah. Me too.
All right. Let's start number 2.
Is there
All
dialogue?
right.
Yes.
Story 2. Good start to the grab bag here. The last story was good. I liked it. It was creepy. I got to use the wig. That's the only time I'm gonna use the wig during this whole rest of the time. All right. You guys get a little treat. That's it. It's too much. It's too much to maintain. Okay. Anyway, the next story is The Living History Project, written by Christine O'Neill, based on a concept by Nicholas Guillaume Pietro.
Okay.
And this time, Andrea will start us off.
All right.
Oops.
One of my least favorite parts about being a middle school history teacher is the bullshit living history assignments we give at the end of every school year. Kids are supposed to sit with their grandparents and videotape, voice record, or transcribe their oldest memories for prosperity and for an easy way to bring up their GPA. I've been doing this for 17 years, and when I collected the projects this time around, I assumed they would be as dull, if not duller than usual. This had not been a particularly bright class. So I went home, poured myself a glass of wine, and prepared for a long night. I only owned 2 pairs of pants when I was your age, and my brother got beat with the newspaper for hitting a baseball into a neighbor's yard. And of course, these projects were peppered with innocent old person comments that were so horribly sexist and racist, you just had to laugh. Now, I had a girl in my class whom I will call Olivia. She was pudgy, quiet, and proved herself a consistent B student. I expected her project to be as unremarkable as her, and perhaps that's why I was so profoundly disturbed by what I witnessed that night. Olivia had submitted 2 discs for some reason, so I began with the one marked interview. My screen hiccuped twice before a grainy image of a living room came into view. The place was a hoarder's hell. Olivia was curled in an armchair clutching a notebook and looking like a scared animal. Across from her sat a man with a somber countenance, smoking a cigarette and staring at her expectantly.
Go ahead.
A woman's voice whispered from behind the camera. Olivia's owlish eyes flashed towards the screen, then back to the man.
I am here with my great uncle Stephen.
She began almost inaudibly.
He is going to tell us about his oldest memories from being in the army.
Great Uncle Stephen looked like he'd rather be in a goddamn trench at the moment, but he waited patiently for the questions to begin. Not surprisingly, Olivia read verbatim from the suggested question sheet I had handed over to the students. He answered her curtly. Once or twice I heard her mother whisper,
"Speak up, Olivia,"
from behind the camera. Typical boring shit. So I was intrigued when Olivia set down the notebook and asked,
"Do you like being in the army?"
That was totally off script. Great Uncle Stephen emitted a chain smoker's wheeze.
Nope. Glad to get out of my town, though. Where did you go? Balkans. Uh-huh.
She said. I doubted she knew what the Balkans were, and my suspicion was confirmed when she asked.
Was Bacchus very different from here? Yup.
Mom cleared her throat from behind the camera, perhaps encouraging Great Uncle Stephen to be a little more forthcoming. But Olivia seemed genuinely interested.
Uncle Stephen,
she asked.
What is your oh my god, that's like the worst question to ask. What is your worst memory from the army?
The old man crushed his cigarette in the ashtray and then slowly lifted himself off his chair.
Well, I'll be back.
He mumbled, the camera cut off. When the screen flashed back up, everything was the same, except Great Uncle Stephen had several pieces of paper in plastic sleeves laid atop all the crap sitting in his coffee table. One he held in his hand.
I was a kid when I enlisted.
He said, looking at Olivia.
Your brother's age.
He told her, and Olivia nodded.
I never saw combat. Both of my deployments were 2 cities in Eastern Europe that had been destroyed by civil wars. Everything was a mess. I felt like a janitor, for fuck's sake.
Uh-huh. Oh, sorry.
No, read that, because you're going to cut me off.
Okay.
I felt like a janitor, for fuck's...
Uh-huh.
You gotta say it. You gotta cut me off, dude.
I did.
No, you didn't. I felt like a janitor, for fuck's... Oh my god. Okay. Alright, just let me do it. I felt like a janitor, for fuck's...
Mom coughed. Great Uncle Stephen sighed and looked at his paper.
My unit was assigned to school... My unit was assigned to a school that had been obliterated by all the violence. Broken windows, caved-in rooms, and for some reason, the part that got to me the most was that the school had been like this for years before we got there. No one had lifted a finger to fix it. I saw kids walk by it on their way to go beg for money or whatever shit they did.
The camera dipped towards the floor as I heard Mom whisper sharply at Great Uncle Stephen. I couldn't make out what she was saying, but it wasn't hard to imagine.
Do you want to hear the goddamn story or not?
I heard him bark in response.
Then you better let me tell it now. I can just imagine the person talking, by the way. I can just imagine.
I know.
Then you better let me tell it how I want. Mom?
Olivia
Please
chimed.
stop interrupting. Are you presenting this in front of the class? No, Mom. We're just handing it in to the teacher. I'm sure he's heard the word shit before.
Great Uncle Stephen contributed helpfully. I wasn't a he, as a matter of fact, but other than that, the statement was accurate. The camera was lifted, and after a couple of blurry focus adjustments, the shot was the same as before.
I'm talking too much anyway.
He grumbled. He lifted the piece of paper in his hand and close to his face.
In the basement, I found this letter. I didn't know what it said, but I had a buddy of mine translate it. So I'm gonna read it now, and then I'll tell you what I saw in the basement.
A chill ran down my spine. Mom zoomed in to Great Uncle Stephen and his letter. His pazeled hands trembled as he held up the paper. This is what he read.
Dear Sir, I never loved my country. So many of these skirmishes are born from patriotism, a power struggle for the shards of a once great empire. But I do not care what name my home has on a map. This fighting is senseless, and I stay as far away from it as I can. It was not these attacks and disorganized violence that took the lives of my wife and child. It was illness. Merciful. It happened quickly for the baby. Nadja suffered for longer. I watched in horror knowing I could do nothing for them. My only solace is that I was there for them every step of the way. I stopped going to work one day, and no one came after me. And then I noticed I was gone. Since the school was simply across a field, visible from my window, it would have been easy to go for a few hours each day and come home quickly to care for them. But what was the point? All I did was clean floors. I was as useless to the world as I was to my family. I tried to take Nadja to the hospital, but the journey was too long and taxing. I brought her home and she died that night. After Nadja and the baby were gone, well, I don't remember much. I didn't leave my hovel. Barely ate and slept. Thought many times of taking my own life. Tempting though it was, I felt paralyzed by my own helplessness. The one thing that kept me sane was my radio. I never turned it off. not once, even though I didn't listen to the words being said. In fact, the channel I got the clearest was in English, I think, which I don't speak a lick of. But the voices, the music, and the true knowledge that life existed beyond this violent city sustained me. I have no idea how much time passed before I saw the light of day again. I was dizzy from hunger, so finding food was my priority. My radio came with me, of course. Since I hold myself up, it has gone everywhere with me. It talks to me as I sleep, and as I wake, I don't know what it's saying, but I know I would die without it. Once I had some water and food, it occurred to me that the only thing left to do was go back to work. So I did. The following morning, I simply returned to the school where I was a janitor and got back to work. Nobody made a big deal out of it. Like I said, Naja had been sick for a long time. Those who worked at the school knew it. Appreciated that no one had pestered me to come back to work during the hardest days of my life. The teachers never said much to me, but we smiled at each other in the halls, and that mutual respect was perhaps the reason I decided to come back at all. The place had gone to the dogs without me, so I simply grabbed my broom and rags from the closet and set to cleaning. Everyone is grateful to have me back. I know. And the best part is that no one minds my radio. I bring with me everywhere, and I keep the volume low enough not to disrupt students. No one has ever complained, in fact. I suspect they like it. The schoolhouse is not very big, but does require a lot of maintenance. The floors are always sticky and stained, so I spend most of my time mopping. Kids make messes. I guess that's why I'm still in business. Sometimes I have to move things around to make sure I get every spot on the floor beautiful and clean. But I take pride in that. And the repairs! The school always needs tune-ups. Here and there, I am happy to help. Some days, I'm reconstructing a desk that broke as I whistle along with the radio. Other times, I handle more serious structural issues. Days when I have work like this, I feel truly instrumental, like a cog in a larger machine. How could this school survive without me? It took me a long time, but once again, I feel like I have a purpose. There's a ladder behind the school that is full of preserved food. In lieu of payment, I am allowed to take as much food as I need. That arrangement is fine. What would I do with money anyways? I used to bring the food back to my house, just one field away from a school. Not when I started sleeping in the basement, no one seemed to notice. School is special to me. I cannot leave it unguarded. I am besieged with memories of my wife and baby. I turned the volume on the radio to drown out such thoughts. It works for me every time, except this morning. Because this morning, I woke up to dead silence. I frequently examined the radio to see what had happened. I honestly cannot tell you how many days in a row I have been using it. Did it simply live out its life or die naturally? I have spent the entire day trying to fix it. Most of the time, I have been crying. I'm losing my mind without it. I have given myself until sundown. If I cannot fix it by then, I'm going to take my life. I am writing this because sunlight is starting to die, and I know what my fate shall be. I've thought about taking one last walk through the halls of my old school, saying goodbye to the students and teachers. I know I will be missed, but I cannot bring myself to leave this room. I cannot go anywhere knowing that my radio is dead in here. There are no more tears in me. It feels now like I can't catch my breath. I vomited what little food I had in my stomach, and I'm growing dizzy again, like I did after Naja died. I'm not long for this world. But before I take my life, I have closed the door to this room and stuck a chair beneath the handle. It is the only room in the basement that has a small casement that lets in just enough light for me to see what I am doing. If anyone is kind enough to come looking for me, they should not be met with this gruesome sight. Perhaps they will see the door is blocked, smell my rotten body, and simply forget I ever existed. But I have placed both my radio and this note outside the door. Kind sir, if you are reading this, I have one humble request. Please fix it. Save my radio. It did not deserve to die in its sleep, and I am ashamed that I cannot revive it. Now, I'm ready to join Nadja and little Ludmilla in heaven. I hope the school can find another janitor who loves and cares for it the way I do. The hour is now. Do not forget my radio. Stan is of old.
When Mom zoomed back out, Olivia had tears in her eyes.
Thank you for sharing, Uncle Stephen.
Mom said, her voice choked.
I think we have enough. Wait!
Olivia chirped.
He said there's more! What did you find?
Before Great Uncle Stephen could open his mouth, the image disappeared. My jaw dropped. What was it? What did Great Uncle Stephen see? I promptly remembered that there was a second disc. This one was unmarked, but I hoped to contain the rest of the interview. There was no video, only audio. The voices started up as Olivia's.
Hi, Mrs. Garrity. I'm sorry about my mom, but she refused to record the rest of what my uncle was saying. But I asked him to continue and secretly recorded the story as a voice memo on my phone. I remember you said earlier this year that history is written by the people who win wars.
She sucked in a breath and commenced crying.
But everyone's history is important, even if they are sad, pathetic people, and even if they... Oh my god. But everyone's history is important. Even if they are sad, pathetic people, and even if they never won a single thing in their life, I haven't slept through the night since I finished this project. But you have to hear what Uncle has to say.
There were tears in my eyes, too. The sincerity of her words was beautiful. I was also flattered that she had remembered some trite phrase I threw around because it is what my history teacher said to me. Before I get too sappy over it, the audio began again.
Fine,
came Mom's frustrated voice.
If you want to hear the rest of the story, fine. But this is not appropriate for a school project. Let me finish.
Great Uncle Stephen snapped.
If it's too much for you, help yourself to a snack in the kitchen. But Olivia wants to know what happened.
I heard her mother mumble something and walk away. Olivia and her uncle were alone. I imagined her looking at him expectantly.
So, did you find the radio? Or did it get ruined when the school got blown up?
He rasped and I heard the distinct click of a lighter.
That letter had a date on it. What date?
She inquired hungrily.
It was dated 2 weeks before we started rebuilding the school. Didn't you say the school had been destroyed like 2 years ago? Yep.
Replied Great Uncle Stephen.
It had been.
There was silence as I felt goosebumps on my arm. The images that came to my mind were almost too overwhelming to express, but Great Uncle Stephen put them into words effortlessly. Clearly, he had spent his whole life thinking about it.
This man, this Stanislav, whatever his name was, went to a vandalized, fallen apart schoolhouse and cleaned up blood and rubble like it was spilled drinks and dust. He smiled at dead bodies in the hallway and believed they were smiling back at him because they liked his radio. He moved around corpses so he could sweep the ground under them. The roof was half collapsed, so when it rained, he must have gotten soaking wet, but was so oblivious that he didn't even feel a thing.
I could hear Olivia crying steadily.
I found the larder he was talking about. It was all pickled, preserved food that probably tasted like shit. Most of the stuff was moldy. That explains so much.
I was thinking when we were reading through it, I was like, I was like, are these people dead? But not like dead bodies. I was thinking like ghosts.
No, it explains so much because, like, remember he said he didn't go to work?
And nobody said anything?
Right, because the fucking building was exploded.
Oh
The
my
building
God.
exploded. And he was so grief-stricken that he didn't realize that everyone he knew is fucking dead.
Yeah, I thought they were just like ghosts and he was seeing ghosts in the school.
No, I didn't put two and two together. Speak up next time, dude.
But I didn't know. I was like, is that a dumb theory? I was like, let me hear some more. So
Apparently
I can hear
not, because that's the story. You literally called it.
Right.
Did you see the dead body? Yep. Hanging from the ceiling. But still, amazingly, lifelike. It wasn't rotting away. This hadn't happened years ago. Did he look peaceful?
She asked, a chord of desperation in her voice.
Couldn't tell you. The smell was rank, but his face was blue and his eyes were bulging like this.
I imagined him demonstrating.
And the radio?
Olivia wept. I heard Great Uncle Stephen take a long drag of a cigarette.
It was there. All right. And it was still on.
That was a good story.
I don't get it.
What do you mean?
It's a good story. I just don't get it. If it was still
what
on,
don't you
I'm so
get?
confused. He died. He killed himself. So,
Yeah, but he was thinking about it before.
all right. But he did it because he thought his radio was off, but it wasn't.
I think that was just an excuse. But maybe he just stopped hearing it because also he was seeing dead people, thinking they were alive. So like anything could happen.
He's definitely lost his mind. Tell you that.
Yeah.
Probably because he's fucking starving and probably hallucinating.
Oh yeah, hallucinating. No water, no food. His wife and daughter had just died.
It was good. I liked how the dad, or I like how not the dad. I like how the great uncle kept fucking yelling at his niece.
Niece, yeah.
If you don't want to hear the goddamn story, you can get out. You can go get yourself a snack. Olivia, god damn it. I'm trying to. Oh no, Olivia's like little daughter. What
was the kid?
Carol. I'm gonna name her Carol. The mom's name was never said. God damn it,
was
Carol. Always fucking goddamn complaining. Go get yourself a snack. Get out. Get out of the garage. Go get yourself a snack in the fridge. I don't want to hear your nonsense no more. I'm trying to tell Olivia a story. You're over here rolling in it. God damn it. Okay, sorry.
That's exactly what he sounded like, though. That was good. I liked it. It was very sad, obviously. Trigger warning.
I don't say it was bad. I was good. I was trying to like make it like trying to make sense of it, but maybe just mentally insane guy, and that's what's happening.
And depression. And malnourishment.
Yeah. That's definitely a big thing. All right.
I'm at 2 for 2 right now, so
we're doing good. All right. 11-minute read, red light. It's actually 9 minutes. 8 minutes. Okay. Story 3. Oh, that's 5. 3. Red Light by Emily S. Oh, this one has body horror in it. Ooh, body horror. Psychological horror. Illness, medical and hospitals.
That's why I chose that
paranoia, and mental illness. Strange and unexplained. Dog. One of them is just dog.
Well. All right. Do you have speaking, reading?
Yeah, but
quotes?
It's like not for a bit, so we can switch off a little bit. There's not many. There is, but there isn't. Like, they're spaced out a lot, so we'll just take turns. Okay. I'll start this time. Red Light by Emily S. Driving late at night was never something I enjoyed. There were too many variables that could go wrong. A headlight could go out, I could get lost, maybe even fall asleep at the wheel. And worst of all, break down, with no one else awake to help fix the car. But this sounds like you.
What?
This girl is you. This is literally you. So much anxiety. But I had to work in a few hours, and I'd already taken off as much time as I could. Dealing with sick parents wasn't easy, especially when you had to help pay medical bills. With the radio playing softly, I spared a glance back at Sam, who lay sleeping in the back seat. His white-tipped ears relaxed against the side of his head, while his paws twitched as if someone was tickling his feet. But he was too tired to wake up. If the dog dies, instant 1.
Yeah.
Instant.
I agree.
No ranking.
We're just gonna DNF it.
Did
Turning my attention
not
back to
finish.
the road. I think it's a book term, but we're just gonna use this for creepypastas too. Turning my attention back to the road, I groaned as we approached the stoplight. Why they had these sprinkled through the long, empty expanse of highway, I didn't know. It wasn't like anyone else was going to be awake at 2 a.m. in the morning. If they were likely just as irritated about stopping as I was. All I wanted was to be home, to get a little bit of sleep before dragging myself out of bed for work. Easing down on the brake, we crawled to a stop, the front end of the car kissing a long white line that you weren't supposed to cross. Sighing, I relaxed against my seat and took a moment to close my eyes. This was a mistake. Every part of me wanted to curl up and fall asleep on the back seat right next to Sam. He'd be warm and more than happy to share. He'd most likely spare me a few kisses to the cheek for good measure before using me as a pillow.
First off, the solid white line is a suggestion. Okay? You can cross the solid white lines. It's a suggestion. It's frowned upon. But you can cross them. You just can't cross the yellow ones. That's not allowed.
I don't think it's a suggestion.
It's a suggestion. All right?
Okay.
If you have to cross, you have to cross it. Okay?
Don't take legal advice from Michael over here. Don't cross unless it's a... What's it called?
Dotted line.
Dotted line.
That's... Okay.
Okay. Muttering a curse, I forced my eyes open to find that the light was still red and impossibly bright. Its vibrant red glow reflected across the dark road, creating a radius of light that far surpassed normal stoplights while intensifying with each second. Part of me knew it was impossible to have a street light that bright. There were regulations to follow for the safety of drivers, but there it was. Like an angler fish luring its unsuspecting prey, glowing intently into a realm of darkness.
Change already!
I grumbled, running out of patience. There was nothing worse than having to sit and wait at an unreasonably long light.
I can't believe this, Sam.
Startling Sam awake as I uttered his name, he poked his head out between the driver and the passenger seat, ears swiveling about on a high alert. I got the impression that he could hear the hum of the strange red light, that the electricity within was so intense it fried the wires encased in black metal. Still, the light didn't change. My impatience turned into anger, and against my better judgment, I placed my truck in park before opening the driver's side door. Sam made a move to leap into my now empty seat, then I stopped him.
Stay. I'm just gonna have a look, okay, buddy? Something has to be broken.
Giving Sam a pat on the head.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about? First off, fucking run the red light, dude. If there's no one on the road and it's late at night, just go through it. I've done that many times. If the red light is broken, it's a stoplight. It's a stop sign at that point. Just fucking go. Look both ways. Drive through. I'm not getting in my fucking car.
Yeah, Why would she get out of her car in the middle of a red light?
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
At 2 a.m.
Fuck that. Drive through it.
I don't know. This is where things go bad, is what I'm assuming.
God damn, dude. That's crazy.
Giving Sam a pat on the head, I rolled the window down so he could still see me before shutting the door. He hated when I was out of sight, and I hoped this would soothe his nerves. Sure, part of me knew I could just run the red light, but I had the worst luck a person could have. A cop would inevitably...
My God. That's like 10 out of 10, like 10 for 10. Stop reading. Stop
Start
reading.
over.
I'll do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I said it right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Part of me knew I could just run the red light, but I had the worst luck a person could have. A cop would inevitably fall out of the sky to ticket me. Should I attempt such a mildly illegal action in the middle of nowhere? Running a hand through my hair, I scanned the side of the road for an electrical box. Maybe someone had hit it and rather than reporting the incident, drove off leaving everything inside slightly askew. Only, from what I could tell, there was no electrical box. Rolling my eyes, I turned back to the cross section of road. Let me look for the electrical box. Maybe I can fix it.
Like, what's she trying to do? Walking out in the middle of it, I glanced left and right, thinking that maybe an electrical box was on one of the other adjoining roads. Tucking my hands in my pocket, I fished around for my phone in hopes that the flashlight would illuminate something I missed. Fingers brushing against the device, I pulled it from my pocket when a gust of wind ran its ice-cold fingers down my spine. It startled me enough to drop my phone. It landed face down in the road, the flashlight miraculously turning on to blind me with red light. No, that wasn't right. How could it be red? Blinking furiously, I bent down to collect my phone when another gust of wind swept through the intersection. Along with it came the smell of thick, stifling oxygen. I didn't realize there was a dense coating of fog drifting across the road until my phone's red light danced through the suffocating cloud.
Great. Now there's fog? How the hell am I supposed to drive in this?
Returning my phone to my pocket, I turned curtly on my heel. If anything, I could get back in the truck and wait for the fog to clear out. It never lasted more than a half hour from my experience. But as I turned around, I found myself face to face with more fog. The truck was nowhere to be found. She lost Sam.
Oh my God,
first,
dude. Are you kidding me?
That's what I'm thinking right now. At first, I figured it was...
I'm mad at the protagonists at this point.
I know.
They deserve what's coming to them. You get out your car, you're looking around for an electrical fucking box, trying to fix the stoplight. Dude, whatever. I'm mad about this one.
I'm not happy with her, but we'll see. I gotta know what happens to Sam first. At first, I figured I was too tired to have remembered my journey away from my truck. I had to have turned about in the wrong direction, but after completing a full circle, my heart started hammering in my chest. I couldn't see a thing beyond a few inches in front of me.
Sam?
My voice rang out in panic, one that he would have easily heard. As if on cue, he barked in reply.
Good boy, Sam. Keep barking.
He offered up a few more calls, much to my relief. Listening intently, I did my best to walk towards them. One foot in front of the other was easy enough until my foot disappeared in the fog. Swallowing tightly, I tried not to panic more, but the entire situation was so unreal, I felt like I was hallucinating. No matter how many steps I took and no matter how much Sam barked, I didn't seem to be getting any closer to him. Stifling a panicked yell, I closed my eyes like I had before. That's when all of this started. Maybe I had fallen asleep after all. Maybe I was dreaming, but when I opened my eyes, I was met with a set of lifeless ones in return.
Ooh.
A gaunt, pale-looking fellow stood before me. Their eyes were cloudy and white, blind. Their hair thin and wispy, their skin translucent and yellow.
What the fuck?
Scrambling back a few steps, I tried to create as much space between myself and the stranger. That's when my eyes settled on their feet. Fragments of what used to be shoes stuck to their ankles and toes with fresh and dried blood. Their skin was blistered, raw, and shredded. Their left foot much worse than their right, with sections of bone exposed on the ends of their toes. Sounds so gross.
Oh my God. Oh my God, sir. Are you in need of help?
The words barely left my mouth before yet another gust of wind sent a new plume of fog to sweep the man away. To my left, I heard sobbing. With an intense worry, I turned towards the noise. The cause of it was a young woman stumbling about and shielding her eyes while bare feet left a trail of blood in her wake. Again, the fog came. It swept her away like it had the man, and it was then that I realized it was sweeping me away too. All the while, the red streetlight grew brighter and brighter until it became unbearable. Were these people lost? Was I lost too? Would I become something like them? Heaving in desperate breaths of air, I struggled to come up with some sort of logical conclusion to this mess. There had to be a cause to what I was seeing, but then a third person
Miraculous. Now you're making me fucking not be able to say it. Miraculously.
There had to be a cause to what I was seeing. But when a third person miraculously appeared in front of me, I ran. I didn't know what else to do. I needed to find my truck and leave as quickly as possible.
Sam! Sam!
My voice tore from my throat, sounding harsh and ragged. There was no response this time. I was alone. Now, with tears streaming down my face, I wandered around, arms extended and hands grasping. All I wanted to do was touch the familiar metal frame of my truck and lock myself inside.
Shivering from head to toe with a thick layer of sweat coating my skin, I pressed on. There was no telling how long I walked for, whether it was hours or days, but all that drove me was desperation and rage. Rage to get out of this suffocating red light. It bounced off the fog, bombarding my eyes from every angle. It became so intense, so bad, that my retinas began to ache. That's when I closed my eyes, promising to never open them. That didn't work. The light was so intense it burned clear through the backs of my eyelids and into my brain, searing any sense of sanity I had left. I was stuck in the middle of nowhere, wandering, weak, tired, and blind. I would die here, inevitably. Still, my legs moved on until they couldn't anymore. And I was left in a crumbled heap upon what I assumed was the road. Fog devoured me like a flesh-hungry beast, and part of me wanted it to win, to consume me and put me out of my misery.
I'm a little confused. So she's in the red light?
No, she's in a fog.
Yeah, but she's in a red light.
You know what's gonna probably happen in this thing? I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess the ending right now. It's gonna go to my ending. Is she mentioned how she was anxious of driving, right? Like falling asleep, something bad could happen. I bet you if that was foreshadowing, I bet you she fell asleep staring at the red light, and she's literally asleep, and the red light is just her like dream because has fallen asleep at the wheel.
You think she's gonna wake up and be like, "Oh no, the light is green now"?
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that, but we'll see. It must have sensed my desire because a wet, slobbery tongue raced across my cheek. Hot breath danced along my face, and I knew I was a goner. It had finally beaten me into submission. That stupid red light had won. Then a soft, gentle bark resonated in my dying ears, and the greatest sense of relief that I ever felt washed over me.
Sam!
I'm not sure what happened next. All I know is that I regained some form of consciousness in a blurry white room where incessant beeps bombarded my senses. I could barely make out a set of wires dancing along my arms when a door eased open and walked someone decorated with the lab coat.
Ah, you're awake. How are the eyes?
They asked, their voice gentle but prying.
I can barely see.
I rasped my voice, feeling like it was full of razor blades.
I see. Well, we can get an optometrist in here shortly.
I didn't let her finish.
What happened?
I demanded, aware of the doctor settling a blanket across my midsection. I had a vague sensation of coldness racing along my toes.
Officers found you miles away from your car, into the next county. You are missing your shoes.
The doctor explained, pausing as if debating whether they should tell me more. Truthfully, I didn't remember losing my shoes.
Your feet were shredded. You'll need skin grafts in the coming days to help them heal. Your dog is the one who led the police to you. When they found you, they said you were rambling about a red light.
As the last two words of her sentence registered, my heart sank into my stomach and everything from the previous night came rushing back to me. All I could see was a bright red light searing into my eyes. I couldn't look away no matter how hard I tried. We stared at each other even as a plume of fog rolled in to consume me, smother me, kill me 1 mile after the other as I walked aimlessly in red-colored silence. It was here with me, in this hospital room. I could feel it, the same impending dread and doom along with the growing pain in my eyes. It wasn't going to leave me alone. Not now, not ever.
Sir, calm down. You're safe. Sir, calm down. You're safe.
The doctor's voice was muffled in my ears, mixed in with the sound of quickening beeps. She called out for help, her voice filled with the panic and fear I felt. People rushed around me, poking me, prodding me, but all I could see was that light, bloody and red like my feet.
Of course, the doctors and police got talking with one another after that. They said I had some sort of psychotic break that night of the drive, and its effects carried over into my hospital stay. That the stress of my parents had triggered something in me. That being tired and driving hadn't helped, that something deep within me snapped. They wanted a psych evaluation to help me, but it didn't matter. Ever since the doctors said those fateful words, all I could see was red. I never left, never faded, not until I made it. They told me they couldn't save my eyes. That was fine. I didn't want to see that damn red light anymore. But no matter how many times I told my story, no one believed me. Not the doctors, or the psychologist, or anyone. I know what I saw. I lived it. I have the scars to prove it.
Maybe you'll believe me or maybe you won't. Just listen to me when I tell you this. Don't drive in the early hours of the morning. Don't waste your time at a red light like I did. Run it. Run it fast and don't look back. A ticket is less of a pain than gouging out your own eyes. And if you do stop at the red light and it stares back at you a little too long with a little too much intensity, don't get out of your car. An anglerfish knows when it's captured its prey, knows how to keep it locked behind a set of teeth, unable to leave without help, knows how to devour you slowly. Those red lights, they're traps. And if you aren't careful, the fog will find you, just like it found me.
He gouges eyes out. Jesus.
I don't like that. It was an okay story. I didn't hate it.
It's okay.
I thought it was a little bit more confusing than the other one.
It was okay. Not as scary, but it's a cool idea, I think.
Yeah.
She's like, I finally found a hospital story. And it wasn't about a hospital.
It was not about a hospital.
Womp womp.
That was good. Cool.
I liked it. It was good. I like the other ones better.
Yeah.
Short and sweet, I would say. I just kind of want to know what the red light was. I don't know. I feel like it was like missing some substance, really. So I think it could have been really good, but it fell kind of a little short for me.
Losing my eyes is one of my fears.
Is it really? You have so many.
I know. That's why I said one of my fears. I have a running list. There's like new things added every day.
I have a running list. Jeez Louise, dude. That's crazy. How do you live your life like this?
I don't know. I really don't. It's a great question.
No. I'm scared of everything.
Okay.
And she wants, by the way, don't let her fool you. She wants to go to a haunted house, a real one. Like a real haunted area. Okay?
Yeah.
But she's not that scared of things.
I'm just scared of I'm not going to say irrational things.
I will say, though.
Could happen.
I will say, she did have an opportunity to go to a haunted house, and she decided not to.
When?
When you're in Mexico.
Oh, that's because I've been there. I used to sleep there when I was younger. All the
She
time.
said she had an opportunity to get some stuff so we could talk about it, but
I know. Okay, I was too scared that time.
I was too scared.
My mom scared me. Next time I go, I won't. I'm not sleeping there. I remember when I used to go when I was every
Just go
summer.
at,
I sat
you
there.
should just go there at 3 a.m.
Why would I do that to myself? Do you hate me? Do you secretly hate me?
You should play the night game.
The one that you were playing in the dark hallways?
The midnight game.
A video game?
No, it's a game where it's like a ritual where you draw some blood and you write your name on a piece of paper. It's like a bunch of stuff, and you put it on your door that it's wood, and you read something, and then the Midnight Man is invited to your house, and you gotta walk around your house with a candle and try to like not get caught by the Midnight Man.
What the fuck? No, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Maybe when I was younger, I would maybe do that.
Oh yeah, of course. That's a kid game.
I'd be too scared that. What if it was real? I can't be doing any of that right now, okay? I'm about to be at home by myself for like 8 weeks, and I can't be being.
I
can't
can't be scared. I can't.
be
I
scared.
can't do it. All
No
right.
scary movies, no scary shows,
Nothing.
no scary TikToks.
Nothing. All right, go ahead.
All right.
Oh, sorry, let me introduce the story. Sorry.
Yeah.
Fourth story. This story is called When the Circus Came to Town by Stephanie Cision.
All right. The tents appeared in the middle of the night without preamble. There was some heated discussion at town hall. No.
Nope.
There was some heated discussion at City Hall.
Your brain
because
is an enigma to me.
I don't understand either.
Your brain is an enigma because, like, you'll read a sentence and it'll be correct, but it's not how they wrote it at all. You switch up the words and add stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, but when I'm reading it exactly how it is on here.
But you're not saying it how it's.
I know.
You're saying it different.
I don't know what happened.
That's weird. Your brain, like, it's almost like you have a decryption thing in your brain where, like, you're reading it, but whatever comes out is like decrypted.
A little bit different.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to start over again.
Go ahead.
All right. The tents appeared in the middle of the night without preamble. There was some heated discussion at City Hall because not even the mayor knew they were coming. They must have worked out something, though, because the gypsy circus stayed. Our town wasn't big enough to support even a fair, so this was big news. That was how I found myself with my older brother Tommy and his friends that evening. I was just 15 then, and though we were in a small town, my mother hailed from Boston. There was no way she would cut me loose to run around my own, but if she'd known how bad Tommy and his friends really were, she would have known I was much better off alone.
How much money you got?
Frankie asked, punching my shoulder. Of the 3 older boys, I hated him the most. He regularly hit, kicked, and ridiculed me, while my own brother laughed about it. He was twice my size. I was a runt back then, but I dreamed of the day that I could stand up to him. Stand up to them all. I gave him the 20 Mom had given me, but not the 5 I had tucked in my hat bill. If nothing else, I wanted to sneak a candy apple later. Dad was a dentist, and we didn't have things like that around my house.
They abandoned me when we walked inside that midway. I'd never been in a circus before. There weren't many rides, but huge tents loomed everywhere. Barkers told us to come one, come all. See the magnificent beasts of the wild, or the horrifying freaks of nature. I laughed at that one. I'd ridden in with the freaks of nature. Still, I wanted to see a lion. They looked so majestic on television. Reluctantly, I parted with $2 and stepped inside.
The tent smelled of sawdust, sweat, and dung, but inside were the most fantastic creatures I'd ever seen. I picked a peanut off the ground and fed it to an elephant, then sat on a bench to await the show. The lions were my favorite part. I knew they were big, but I never expected anything that huge. I held my breath when the lion tamer stuck his head in one creature's mouth. The incisors looked as long as my fingers. Its back teeth, which I knew were called carnossals, from a book my dad gave me, worked like scissors to cut and tear meat. No way would I ever have the guts to stick my head in there. After the show, I debated spending another $2 to watch the same show again.
Oh, come on.
But I really wanted that apple. As I made my way to the food trailers, a girl called out to me.
We'll read your fortune for $1.
The sight of her took my breath. For the rest of my life, I dream about her face. I wish that she could have seen her own fortune instead of mine that night. She didn't deserve what happened to her.
Oh, fuck. I stared at her, transfixed. Her eyes were two different colors. I wondered if she wore contact lenses to achieve the effect, in order to look more striking. One was icy blue and the other brown. Like mine, the effect was jarring. Even more so because she was lovely. Long black hair, full lips, dressed like a genie from a TV show with her smooth, tan, Millie beard. Hormones trumped hunger, and I let her lead me into the tent.
She took my palm and stretched it out in front of her. She talked for a while, giving me vague predictions. Then she gave me a long look and said,
You need to stand up for yourself. Do not let others control your fate.
I always wondered about that later, if she really saw that. It proved to be good advice. I wish I'd heeded it. She walked me out after my reading, her hand tucked into my arm.
Well, what do we have here?
Frankie boomed.
Little monkey and his girlfriend?
Her hand tightened on my arm, and then she smiled.
I'm taking a break.
Frankie caught her arm as she tried to walk by, and Tommy and his friend... Oh. What?
Fuck. Not good.
Oh, you know what's happening?
I just kind of assume.
Frankie caught her arm and she tried to walk by, and Tommy and his friend James blocked her. I wanted to tell them to leave her alone, but my voice was a frog hung in my throat.
Hang on,
Frankie said.
I got $1, and I want my fortune told. Matter of fact,
he leered at her.
What will 10 get me? Oh my god.
I didn't read the tags on this story, so I don't know where this is going. I'm a little scared.
I can kind of assume where it's going.
Hopefully not. To my horror, he grabbed her waist and pulled her against him.
Yep.
She struggled free and snarled something in a foreign language. Then she spat on his shoe. Frankie backhanded her, then dragged her into the tent. I turned to run, and James tripped me. I went sprawling into the dust, and my mouth filled with blood. James hauled me up, and I heard a click as he opened the switchblade he always carried. He pressed it against my back.
One move, and I'll slice your spinal cord.
He said.
Snitches end up in ditches.
It only lasted a few minutes, but it seemed like an eternity. They brutalized that girl. I heard her struggle at first, then nothing. That nothing terrified me. I was crying, blood and snot choking me. People walked right by, and nobody seemed to notice something was wrong. Something was horrible. The newspaper said her father found her naked and beaten in that tent. It was 2 days before she could give the police a description. I was relieved when the police pulled up in front of our house.
Don't say a word.
Tommy hissed.
Or I swear on my life, I'll end you.
I wish I could say that I spoke up, but told the police everything, but I didn't. I thought her description would be enough, and the DNA, but I misjudged small-town politics. Frankie, Tommy, and James spun some story about the girl being a prostitute and soliciting them for enough money. They said she grew angry when they didn't have enough and threatened to cry. Am I allowed to say this word?
No. Grape.
If they didn't bring her money. They said another gypsy had beat her to make the story look real. The judge closed his briefcase and let them go. We walked outside together. I have never felt so sick, ashamed. Tommy and his friends stood beside me in their fresh suits and ties, looking like altar boys.
Bro.
That's so terrible.
So realistic, by the way, it's crazy. Because that's like, in small towns, because I was in the small town where this actually happened, or something similar. That's like how it goes. They never believe the women.
I mean, yeah, that still happens.
No, yeah, it's like I mean, it happens everywhere. Don't get me wrong, but like especially in small towns.
Yeah, I did not know what story. We don't read the story beforehand.
We don't. We do not read the
We
story
just
before.
read the title and sometimes a couple of comments.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's it.
This is the last one, so like, if you made it this far, sorry.
Yeah. The old gypsy woman approached. She muttered something, then made a sign in the air with the gnarled finger. Frankie stepped toward her, and James caught his arm. The girl sobbed against her father, her beautiful face still swollen and discolored. She whispered something to the old woman and pointed at me. The old woman's eyes narrowed, and she made another sign.
That's enough.
My father said and led us away.
She put a curse on them.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. I thought she was dead, but she's not.
No, she's not dead. She just got fucking SA'd.
Yeah. The circus disappeared, and within a week, my brother and his friends were dead. Tommy got his hand caught in the garbage disposal at the restaurant he worked at after school. As it chewed his arm, they thought the pain was making him delusional because he was screaming about the lion's teeth. He bled out before the ambulance got there.
Shit.
James fell off a ladder while he was helping his father patch their roof. The fall severed his spinal cord.
Oh! Wait, okay, keep going. I have a theory. Keep going.
Frankie died the most horribly of all. He wrecked around Johnson's Bend one night and his car caught on fire. Rescuers said they'd never forget his screams. I figured he's still screaming and burning in the place he went.
Okay. Stop here for 1 second. Did you see how did you catch how they all died?
Waves of the lion's teeth was like.
Well, yeah, that, but so
like circus stuff, right?
So Tommy grabbed her arm, right? Well, and said that she couldn't leave, right? Grabbed her arm really tightly. His arm got caught in a garbage disposal. James put a knife to the protagonist's back and said, "I'll sever your spinal cord." His spine gets severed by falling off the roof, and then he died screaming like the girl was screaming when she was being assaulted.
Damn, I didn't even put those two and two together. I was just thinking like circus things.
I mean, probably that too, but like that's what happened. So that's how they died.
They had it coming.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, of course.
I dreamed about the old woman every night. She said,
"Your crime is silence. You stood quietly and let evil reign. Thus sealed your fate."
One morning, my tongue felt funny. When I peered in the mirror, it looked like a piece of bark was attached to it. It felt like bark, too. Mom was still in her room, so I didn't bother her. I somehow knew it was my time. I went to the woods behind our house. My steps grew heavier as I walked, and I could barely drag my feet through the leaves. When I looked down, my legs no longer looked human. They were forming into a tree trunk. Roots curled from my toes and spiked into the ground. I raised my hand to feel my tongue, and my arm froze there. Bark raced down it, falling in place like Legos connecting, covering what was human. With no surprise, I saw the girl walk out of the woods.
"I know it wasn't your fault,"
she said.
"I begged my Baba for mercy. She said you must learn a lesson. You'll be a tree until you grow and mature enough to bear fruit. When the first apple falls from your tree, you will be human again. I hope you will always stand up for yourself and others after that."
It took 3 years, but I'm still thankful for that lesson.
Dang! Turn into a motherfucking tree. There's your fucking apple, bitch. I hope he ate it too.
Wow, that was...
So she told the fortune, right?
Yeah.
So it all goes back to the fortune. This is the best story out of all of them, by the way.
You think so?
This one and the first one. The best one. So, this is the best story because it actually has a lesson and I like this one a lot. So, in the fortune, she literally says, stand up for yourself. Right?
Right.
So the fortune came true legit instantly. And that happened
True.
to her. Right? And then he had the chance to finally defend and stand up for himself and others, and he failed. He didn't die, but damn, he motherfucking got turned into a goddamn tree. So funny.
So he
Also, like,
he still got part of the
Was-
curse because he didn't do anything about
do the
it.
parents just like be like, my son just disappeared and I don't know what happened to him?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
He's lucky he didn't get cut down. But this was the best one. The way that they each died was cool. It's very poetic. Like, each crime that they committed, they happened to them, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like this is literally almost like a story. It's like, hey, don't be a fucking bad person, really. It's like, don't let others bully you. Stand up for others who are bullied. And, like, obviously don't grape people, don't SA people, like, don't do those things. Obviously, that shouldn't have to be said, but it is, it still need to be taught.
Like, not to be a bystander either.
Yeah, don't be like a bystander because the bystander just kind of walked by, like, while it was happening. Bystander effect. This was a good story. I like this one a lot. This one was really good. It was good. I like this one the best. I believe it was the first one. Let me see. Yeah. I like the first and the last.
What did we reach first?
The one with the darkness, where like she got possessed.
Oh yeah.
Right. Those two were my favorite. So if I were going to rank each story, it'd be this one first. The Reason You Fear Darkness second. The History Project third, and the Red Light last.
Okay. I would do Red Light last. Living History first.
Okay,
So
that's your first. Okay.
the Living History Project first. When the circus came to town.
Okay.
The Reason You Fear Darkness, and then Red Light.
Okay, so like completely, like almost opposite.
Almost opposite.
Almost opposite. Right, because I said Red Light last and you said Red Light last too. So just almost like opposite reaction. I don't like Red Light after reading the other ones. But this one was fantastic.
Yeah, that's good.
This is a good story. I like this one a lot. I'm like pretty surprised too, like, cause it's a short read too, and it really it's like a clear to the point story. Yeah. I like it. It has such a good effect on you at the end, I believe, right? There's not too much details. There's nothing really left on the table. Everything is completed, right? Where some of the stories where there could have been more. This one is like perfect. It has exact amount of what you need in the ending. It's almost like a fairy tale, like a grim fairy tale, where it's like teaching people how to be
like a lesson at
a
the
good
end.
person, right? Like a lesson.
Yeah.
So I like this one a lot. This one was good. I like this one. Author is Stephanie Cision. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But this one was fantastic. I like this one a lot. I hope everyone enjoyed the stories. I did. And it was fun. I like this one. We should do more of this. I like because there's a lot of creepypasta stories that we want to read, that we've been wanting to read, that are just too short. So we'll just do this. And then maybe I'll break this up into twos. Or maybe with the first one, the first grab bag, I'll do all four. And after that, we'll just do like two. Right? So let me go ahead and close this out. Like, subscribe, and follow. Drop a comment. Drop one. And when you're going to bed tonight,
sleep well. Get in your bed, and I hope you have sweet dreams. And Sleep well.